Not all relationships are meant to be lifelong relationships. I know I totally can relate with this topic because I am one who had a lot of friends, growing up in high school to college, even into my early 20s, and maybe even 30s, I would say, where we were just tight. We were thicker than thieves. We did everything together. We had the same interests. We loved the same movies. We liked to party. We were just attached at the hip. We did everything together, and we could never imagine life without each other. I would say this one particular friendship this person was like a sister to me, a sister I never had. I have two brothers. So we were like sisters. We did everything. The only difference was that we had separate addresses, okay? But we were always together. So I noticed when I went off to college and my friend did not. She chose not to go to college at the time. So I actually moved on campus, which was about 25 minutes away, not too far, but I was in a dorm and I was rooming with my cousin. My first year, I went to an HBCU, so there were always some parties, okay? There's always something going on. I knew a lot of the people from high school, but still just, going off to college. We're not even going off, even though I stayed home, just moving into a different environment and making new friends from all over the world was very exciting. I didn't come home as much, where I was closer to my BFF at the time. So life was lifing and I was having a great time. So I would come home sometimes on the weekend and I would see, my friend, and it was the same. We would do the same things, nothing really changed. And I really can't tell you exactly when. I graduated from college at that time. We were both still in the same city, but things were just different. Nothing really bad happened at all. We didn't have a falling out, no kind of verbal, confrontation, anything like that, any kind of disagreements. It's just our communication started to kind of drift, So we weren't talking every day. We weren't texting. I think back then it was like pagers. But anyway, the communication kind of lapsed, and it was kind of saddening for me, but at the same time, in my mind, I realized that I was just making new friends. I didn't think anything of it, but it was, I guess, a bigger issue on the other side. So we would still communicate. We would go to lunch. I remember that. She would even come on campus to go to some of the parties, homecoming, all of that. And we had a blast. We did. This was my freshman year. But I'm telling you, a little bit after that, I transferred to another school. And I was a little further out, but still in the same state and surrounding area. But we just did not talk as much. I think I wanted to incorporate my new friends that I met in college, and it just kind of changed the dynamic of our friendship. And another point too that I want to make, when I went off to college and I was 18 years old, my friend got pregnant. So my life was going in a totally different direction from her. Our lives are just so different right now. I'm now married. I wasn't married then. I'm not sure of her situation, believe it or not, but we'll catch up. But it's not the end of the world. And for the longest time, I was so down about it. Like, asking myself, did I do something wrong? Why isn't she reaching out to me? Why aren't we talking? We're not as tight. And I just, prayed over it. And God revealed this. We all grow at different seasons. But I've noticed in this day and age with the younger generation, I just wanted to give some kind of guidance here. You may have a million friends growing up, but as you mature and as you heal, your circle will change. Your childhood friends will align with who you were as a child. Adulthood friends will align with you as an adult. Once you come to that realization that people do actually grow apart, it will be a breeze. Well, it'll be a lot easier. You want to be stuck with this person who is really not bringing any value? Some people never change. Some people honestly do not grow. And I'm one that had to just hold on to the fact that, you know what, I want something different. I want something more. And not to say what my friend wants or desires is any less than mine, but I am saying that we are growing at different paces. While it used to be so fun going roller skating and bowling back in the day, to homecoming every year and just turn up all night, every night, those things, I put away childish things. The Bible speaks of that. When I was a child, I spoke as a child. But when I became an adult, I put away childish things. So that's pretty much where I am. As long as I embrace that fact, I believe that. And I wish any one of my friends, all of my friends, the very best. I can love you from afar. Do you want to go backwards to where God has brought you to? I don't. So that gives me light and encouragement to say it's okay. It's okay to miss friendships. We love each other. We're always going to be sisters, but our lives are in different places as adults. And at this point in my life, I am seeking friendships of those who will pray for me and vice versa. Those who are up and willing to go out of town, just go on a international trip somewhere, who have the same desires that I have as a married woman now. My husband is my best friend, and we both love travel. We have that in common. I will be 50 years young this November, so the sky is the limit for me. And my husband is a huge supporter, so I'm ready to just soar into this next season. No pettiness in my friendships. I need a group of friends that are going to be the biggest cheerleaders for me, who believe in me, who are not hating. I can go on and on and on that topic, but that'll be for another video. But you want to definitely surround yourself with like-minded people. That is so important. So for me, being a married woman, my husband and I want to socialize and go out and fellowship with people who love God. It's important to grasp that. For example, I no longer drink. I don't drink alcohol at all, right? So my husband is not a drinker either, but if he chooses to drink, he'll may have wine. But we are not a drinking turn up type of family, our passions and all that has changed as we become adults, and more so as a married couple. Friends of ours that we had back in college and that kind of thing that are still kind of drinking and turning up all the time, we just don't have anything in common. The more I think back on those moments, I don't know if we would really have anything in common. I really can't remember any normal conversation other than just us being totally lit and having a ball and hangovers after a party. Not everybody that comes into your life is meant to be here for a lifetime. In some circumstances, this applies to partners as well. I have heard so many times, and a couple of people that I went to school with, that they were together so long, at year 10 to 15, they feel like they have grown apart. They have different interests. At that time when they got married, they were young. They really didn't know themselves, So when you live and you see life and see how others are living and what sparks you, you may have different interests, period, from your spouse. That's a whole nother video. And I can't speak on that, thank goodness. Some relationships are simply seasonal. So I suggest that you embrace those relationships for what they are, learn from them. This could be God could place these people in your life for a season just to teach you something, to show you something, to encourage you. And as you grow yourself, you will outgrow people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you'll have to let them go. Always continue growing, continue ascending, continue striving to be the best version of yourself, always. Don't worry about those people that you need to leave behind. They will be just fine. You have to focus on your own growth. You do not want to be stuck. People outgrow each other. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing that this person did wrong per se. It's nothing you did wrong. You are simply outgrowing each other. Don't feel bad when people leave you. You're not on that same frequency anymore. Find new friends. You have to find new friends. And you know, your number one friend, I always lean there first. Always. I tell you, when I stopped drinking, and that was some years ago, those friends that I had that, you know, my turn up buddies and all that, they're really nowhere to be found. Once they hear I stopped drinking and I'm not that turn up person anymore, and I have kind of, you know, developed new passions, new hobbies, that kind of thing, they're really nowhere to be found. Phone calls and the text, you know, and all that stopped. So, and I didn't take it to heart so much because I understood that people do grow apart. I still love them dearly. I wish them the very best, but we're just not in that same place, you know. We've elevated at different levels. That's all. Love yourself. Take care of yourself. Find those new friends and just understand that this is part of life. Not everyone's going to go with you. Not everyone's going to have that same goal. I hope this helped you guys. I hope this has blessed you. This is something that was heavy on my heart and I wanted to share. I hear this so often and it is just part of life. And it's, you know, a lot of times it's, you know, disheartening, but we'll make it through. I hope you understood the message today, and I hope this has really helped someone out here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.